Hi guys, my name is Lacey of Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is obviously a different kind of video because I'm not on it. And around this time, maybe last year, maybe towards the end of December of last year, I did a video similar to this where I was unboxing sugar pill shadows and putting them together because I just didn't feel like being on camera. And that's basically where I'm at today. I have, like always, taken some unannounced time off YouTube, basically just because I need to take care of myself and I need to rest. And I've just been working a lot, and because I work full time and then come home and do YouTube as a hobby, but given that I've worked so much overtime in December, my days off, I just wanted to rest. And I felt guilty about that for a long time until some of you guys basically told me that doing nothing is doing something, that it was important to do nothing. And I'm still, like, getting over that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I fully had, like, thought that I would sit down and put makeup on and film correctly. You can see my hands in the shadows talking. But it just didn't work out. So instead we're going to be doing this because I asked you guys on Instagram if this was okay, and you guys said yes. So basically, what you guys are looking at now, besides a shit ton of makeup, is my new 3-tiered makeup cart. This is something that I actually saw Karen Harris do on her Instagram. She showed off her 3-tiered makeup cart, and she had said that she used it to organize her makeup for YouTube. I need to put it back in a pleasing way. And I thought the idea was genius. I immediately messaged Karen and was like, where did you get the cart? She said that it was an IKEA knockoff from Target, so I promptly went to my Target and bought mine. She had hers in white. I got mine in gray because I'm not a fan of white furniture, just personally. And similarly to Karen, I've been using this to organize all of my new makeup, all of the makeup that I need to film reviews on, everything. Also, even my hands are naked. Like, that's how much I did not care. Is that I didn't even put my rings on. I still have that awful burn scar. I'm just a fucking wreck. But anyway, I thought today that we could go through the cart and I could show you guys kind of like my thought process organizing it, what I've chose to put on the cart and all of that jazz, because I find this super interesting and also super visually appealing. So what I've been doing is anything that I want to film a video on goes in the cart. Anything that I want to test out more, whether it's for YouTube or otherwise, goes in the cart. Anything that's brand new to me that I want to get good use out of goes in the cart. And before this cart situation, I was just piling things onto my dresser, and that was not working out for me. It was just creating a lot of clutter and I'm someone who does not like clutter. It makes me panic. So this is a much better system. It's visually so appealing to me. I asked you guys on Instagram if you would be down for this video, and overwhelmingly you guys said yes. This is kind of awkward filming, but I'm going to try my best. So, like I said, this is all stuff that is either new to me or stuff that I specifically want to film videos on. So I'm just going to pick a corner and we're going to go from there. Right off the bat, you can see I have some eyeshadow palettes. What else is new? Of course, I have eyeshadow palettes. Of course, I have the new Tribe palette from Juvia's Place. You guys know that I'm a frantic collector of Juvia's Place palettes. And of course, I had to get this one specifically because this is a green themed palette and it is fucking stunning. I have already, if you guys can see, used the crap out of it. I have some pretty good indents in the metallic shades, this blue one specifically. I can't get enough of. I think this is so awkward. I did not plan this. I think this blue shade is so freaking pretty. I might as well just swatch all of the metallics while I'm here. I'm so stoked about this palette. It's getting a full review. I just want to make sure that I have my full thoughts on it, hence why it's on the cart. Right underneath the Juvia's Place palette, I have something that I'm very excited for. I have the Paulina palette from Blush Tribe, which is a collaboration between Paulina Beauty, here on YouTube, who's a friend of mine who I love a lot, and Blush Tribe. And I think this palette is so Paulina. I think it's so stunning. I apologize if there's a weird shadow. I need to figure out my lighting for this a little bit better. But I can't get enough of this palette. I think the color selection is so gorgeous. I've been playing with it a lot. There are shades in this palette that are also from the Fall Fusion palette, which is Paulina, specifically in Aubergine. But I just, for what these colors are, for being purples and greens, I find this palette to perform very nicely. But like I said, with the Juvia's Place palette, my thoughts aren't final yet because I do want to do a full dedicated video to it. Also in that, I believe you pronounce this the Munaza palette. I do apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. This is another Blush Tribe palette, and this specifically, from what I understand, the owner of Blush Tribe created this palette specifically for people of color based on their suggestions of what they feel like they don't get a lot of in palettes that will suit them, if that makes sense. Like, people of color gave some of the suggestions of what they want to see in palettes, what they feel like they're missing in a lot of palettes. So she rated this for people of color. I am a fair ass bitch, but I still really appreciate how colorful this palette is, how beautiful it is. Haven't played with it enough to have opinions on it. Once again, hence the cart. In this stack of palettes is another palette that I'm planning on reviewing that I'm so excited for. It's another Ace Beauté. We still never came to the conclusion of what this brand is called. I believe it's Beauté, Ace Beauté. So many of you corrected me in the last Ace video, but whatever. Anyway, this is the Flare palette, and I can't help but feel like this palette was made for me because I love the tones of this palette so incredibly much. I love how this side's very fall. I love like the hints of this extremely bright chartreuse. I love the metallics that were chosen, the blues, this like cidery color. Oh my god. I really had to actively put this palette down and like use other things that I need to test out when I first got it, because to me this is like a perfect palette. So excited to talk about that. And then finally, I got another palette from the Makeup Shack. This is the Nightfall palette. I don't know if I like this as much as the last palette that I got from the Makeup Shack, but I do like it a lot. I don't know. Mixed thoughts about that one. Next, if you go up into this corner of my cart, you'll see two highlighters. This is one that I've shown a lot on my Instagram. It is the Becca Lunar New Year, the one with the pig embossing on it. This is really freaking pretty. If you didn't know, I'm someone who collects like all of the limited edition Becca highlighters. I don't know how you can see that. It's really pretty for my personal skin tone because you kind of lose all of the pink and it just melts into this glossy effect. I love that so much. Had to sit down because it was hurting my back. And then I also got this little tiny Natasha Denona Diamond and Glow duo. This is like the size of an actual thumbnail. It is so tiny. One side you get a very like Fenty Diamond Glow kind of shimmery glitter topper, and then the other side you get this kind of like pink with a gold shift blush topper, if you're fair like me kind of shade. I really hate that you guys can see my scar. Very super pretty, but I definitely need to play with that more. And then before we get to some of these surrounding lip products, I have a little collection of ColourPop palettes. Oh god. That I want to review. These were two that came out on Ulta before it actually came out onto the ColourPop website. This is the Rendezvous palette, which looks like this on the inside. The Sweet Nothings palette, which I'm not going to lie, was a little disappointing to get in person because online it just looks a little bit different. But it's very cool tone with a little, not even little, it's like a purple leaning cool tone palette. And then this one I'm not even going to begin to pronounce because I don't want to butcher a language if I can help it. Knocking crap over. This was the ColourPop palette that they did in collaboration with some, I don't even know who it was in collaboration with. I just found the inside to be very beautiful. This is horrific, and I apologize. I know she's like a pop singer, not my kind of music. Sorry, I listen to primarily like death metal and punk music, but I wanted to do like a what's new with ColourPop kind of group review. And then that would also, of course, be the Chasing Rainbows palette. And this is the ColourPop palette that I have the clearest opinion on because I cannot stop reaching for this palette. I love this palette so fucking much. And from what I can tell, all of these palettes are the typical kind of quality that I would expect from ColourPop. But like I said, I've been excited to do like a group What's New with ColourPop review. In between the two stacks of palettes. I have some of the Too Faced, what are these called? Comfort lip glazes that came out for their Tutti Frutti collection. They're not even in frame. I picked 2 like fun colors and then 1 like nice reasonable color. These are so fucking opaque, it's ridiculous. This blue one especially, I really expected to be disappointed by a blue lip gloss, but this is so opaque and it's like sticks on the lips nicely, but it does fade kind of strangely when you talk. I don't know, it's very interesting. But I haven't used it enough to give you a full would I recommend it or would I skip on it kind of opinion. I just thought these were interesting and pretty colors. I've always told you guys how I want to get into oranges more. I thought a gloss might be the way to go. I don't know. Super interesting. I like the way they smell. I like the way that Too Faced scents their products. They kind of loosely smell like Jolly Ranchers in a way. More lip products over here. I've really turned into like a gloss fiend lately. I think it's because for work, it just makes more sense for me to wear glosses because between like the crazy long shifts I had been doing in the last month and just like how much I speak during my job and like taking breaks to eat real fast, it just wasn't working out for me to wear a liquid lipstick. So I've really gotten into glosses. These 2 are not ColourPop glosses. The rest are. I bought all of these fairly recently when they were doing like a really good sale, like site-wide. I have the shades Fairy Floss, which I feel like is a Beauty Guru staple. I feel like when that gloss came out, everybody and their mom talked about how good it was. It's like a super nude color. This one is the shade Sookie, which is like a dark purpley toned lip gloss. This one is Jubilee, which is a more deep red tone gloss. And then this one, Just Surfed, was like an old limited edition, bronzy kind of metallic lip gloss. But they're all super pretty. I'm super into dark glosses specifically. And I really like the ColourPop formula. And then I have these 2 e.l.f. glosses. I have the Alyssa Ashley collab, which I got after Georgia recommended it to me. And I just find this to be the most beautiful brown shade of lip gloss ever. It gives my lips enough of a dark tint that it darkens up the rest of my makeup look without making it look too vampy. Well, it's still fairly natural, and I only imagine this would just be a beautiful nude if you did have a deeper skin tone. So I love it for that. And then I also got this kind of on a whim. This is the e.l.f. lip plumping gloss. So it has that kind of like stingy burning feeling. And this is in the shade Mocha Twist. I thought this would be darker on the lips than it is, but it's not bad. It's definitely lighter than the Alyssa Ashley gloss though. These JD Glow highlighters just like don't want to stand still. So we're going to talk about them real fast. I recently picked up 3 highlighters from JD Glow Cosmetics, which is an indie brand that I had always wanted to try since I got into indie makeup. I just felt like these highlighters were always sold out. These are specifically the multi-chrome ones. These are so fucking beautiful. I could not stop swatching these when these showed up in the mail. This is the shade Synopsis, which if you remember my rant about the Christmas ornaments and the hand soap and them having like this beautiful green tint that I was obsessed with and which existed in like a makeup object, this also achieves that same effect that I was talking about. I have, believe it or not, brush swatches of this on my Instagram because I just feel like brush swatches are better than finger swatches with these highlighters. You really get the full effect with the brush, but it's so super pretty. I also got the shade Cloud 9, which Kara, aka Mascara Cakes here on YouTube, would not stop tagging me in this highlighter when it was releasing, and she created the want in me for this. It's a gorgeous like blue purpley reflect. So fucking stunning. And then I got Chaos, which is a pink gold shift. And I love this formula. I'm like patting it because it's so creamy that it kicks up a lot. This one, oh my god, I'm such a sucker for shades like that. This formula feels a lot like the Give Me Glow Cosmetics highlighter formula, which is my absolute favorite formula of highlighter. I need to wipe off my hands. But it has a lot more glitter to it. But I'm into a glitter highlighter lately, so I don't mind it at all. I have yet to put these on my actual face. I put them on my boyfriend's face, which was on my Instagram stories for a hot second, but I did not put them on my own face. So I'm excited to play with those. Another lip product in the corner over here. I need to like shake it up because it's separating a little bit. This is the Give Me Glow, speaking of Give Me Glow, this is the Give Me Glow Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Whiskey and Honey, which I'm not gonna lie, part of me bought it for the name alone because I am a whiskey drinker, but also because I just felt like this was like such a good grungy kind of like poop brown shade. And also I've been wanting to try the Give Me Glow Liquid Matte Lipstick formula. I'm going to get this off my hand before it stains. I couldn't really get most of it off, but whatever. I'm a big fan of this lip formula. I'm really looking forward to buying more of lip colors in this formula, but I just am trying to slow down my liquid lipstick buying because I have so many liquid lipsticks, which is going to bring me to this corner. I might as well, speaking of having too many liquid lipsticks. I got the Sugar Pill liquid lipsticks that I talked about in my new makeup release video. I got the 3 new ones that came out with all of the Arctic, I think it was like their Arctic Shimmer collection, their Arctic something or another collection. Sub-Zero, Hijinks, and Vertigo. These are so stunning, and I really love the Sugar Pill liquid lip formula. I also, off of Ulta, when they first got there, the Sugar Pill liquid lips, I got Dark Sided, which I'm hoping that this was named after the crazy lady on Wife Swap who was like so super religious that she was yelling dark sided at like her children. I'm assuming that's what this was named after, but it's also just a deep, gorgeous, awesome purple, and I feel like all of these colors together are really nice and would go really well with that Cool Tone ColourPop palette that I showed you guys earlier. More lip products that I'm trying to my best to organize, because before I got these little cup situations in this cart, it was just lip products everywhere, and then I wasn't reaching for anything but like the 2 brown lip glosses that I've been really into lately. Put all of my like holographic weird colored lips that I need to try out in this cup over here. So I have a mix of ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lips, the one that came out for their holiday collection. I also got this Ultra Satin Lip in the color Make Believe, and I actually bought this because it reminded me of Georgia, because there's this lip color, I think from Lime Crime, called Thistle that doesn't exist anymore, but it's like almost this exact color, and I don't know why, I just wanted it because of Georgia's love for that color. Well, I really love these like sparkly, specifically, I'm going through such a sparkle lip gloss phase. This ColourPop lip gloss in the shade Hypno Tease, it looks ridiculous in the tube, but I promise you, this is so flattering once it's on the lips. It's so beautiful. So many people at my job specifically have asked me like what this is when I wear it. I love it so much. And then I also have these Buxom glosses that are new to me. These are the Plumping Lip Polishes, and they're new like holographic top coats, and they have this really, I'm going to open one because they have these really interesting, this like flat paddle wand. It's like a silicone paddle, because specifically you're supposed to top actual lipsticks with these to give them like a cool holographic effect. Super beautiful, super interesting. I actually won them in an Instagram giveaway from the Instagram user Beat Face Friday, who if you love makeup, please follow her account. She has a stunning Instagram account. But yeah, thank you, Beat Face Friday, for sending me those. I greatly appreciate it. And then of course in the middle, I have my Fenty glosses. I have all 3 of the gloss bombs because this formula is insane. I fully believe that the hype is real with this formula. These are the 2, so this is the original gloss bomb, and these are the 2 newer ones, and Diamond Milk and Fussy, which Fussy has been life-changing for me because I was never somebody who layered glosses over lipsticks. I always just thought that was unnecessary and goopy and created a mess. Fussy over a nude lip, specifically like a really pale nude lip, creates such an editorial, like, perfect look. These are the glosses that have made me change my mind about lip glosses over lipsticks. In this kind of corner over here, I have 2 different bundles of indie palettes that I'm meaning to review. First and foremost, I have more palettes from Bombshell Cosmetica. This one's dirty because I just used them recently. I have the Oh Hubba Hubba eyeshadow palette, which is like a take on Hubba Bubba bubblegum. I have the Sour Blast eyeshadow palette, which is obviously modeled after the sour gummy worms. And then the Caramelized eyeshadow palette, which is like a chocolate bar. And these all are scented like the candies that they are modeled after, which is interesting. I definitely have thoughts on these palettes, but I want to save it for a dedicated video. These metallics, though, are out of this fucking world. I will say that. And I appreciate the color selection, though I do feel like overall, all of the colors look much more fair and pastel in person than they did on the Instagram account, which is a little disappointing, but you'll get more in-depth thoughts later. And then these are my take me to, etc. various different cities Maybe Cosmetics palette, which I was lusting after since the second I saw them on Instagram. This is Take Me to Stockholm, Take Me to Hong Kong, Take Me to Tokyo, Take Me to Santorini, Take Me to Los Angeles, and then Take Me to Paris. And I thought when I sat down when I had a day off today that this would be one of the first videos I filmed with my review of all of these palettes, because I have been using these for a while now. But I just like felt so out of touch with my makeup lately and like my thoughts on anything. I need to start keeping better notes when I'm testing makeup. Plus I just didn't feel like putting on makeup today. So that's why we're getting this video. But the Navy palettes and the Bombshell Cosmetica palettes are both going to have their own dedicated videos. I have more ColourPop lippies over here. I have some lippy sticks that also came out with their holiday collection. I love me some lippy sticks. And then, what is her name? Becky something? I apologize. That goes with the palette over here. I got two of the Ultra Satin Lips because I just thought they were beautiful colors, and I love the Ultra Satin Lip formula. And I have no chill when it comes to ColourPop because of how affordable their lip products are. Moving the Sugar Pill Lippies for a second, I have the new LMR Cosmetics palette. I will not pronounce the name because I don't want to butcher it. I will just say the Volume 2 palette, and I've been keeping it with my Volume 1 palette because the owner specifically has stated that she does mean for these palettes to be used together. And I do think that they do create one beautiful giant palette, especially when you look at all the mattes together, when you look at the shimmers together. It makes sense to me, or you could use them alone. Such a good formula. I'm probably going to group this palette in with most of the palettes in, oh god, with most of the palettes in this stack over here. I think it's going to be another one of those, like, bunched up indie review videos that I do. But I've been playing with those. And lastly, hiding underneath everything, this is the Affinity palette from Certify, which I wasn't originally planning on getting. And a lot of you actually messaged me to ask me if I was getting it, and I told all of you no. And then it was 40% off, and I thought that I couldn't pass it up for that price because it's hard with Blush Tribe and with Certify, and I get this. A lot of you guys are frustrated with American influencers talking about these brands because of the shipping costs, and I get that. Like, I try to wait for a good sale. This was a good sale. It made the cost very justifiable to me. Plus, I really loved the Destiny palette, I think is what it's called, the one that was all Halloween-y. If I'm saying the wrong name, I'll correct myself here, but I think it was the Destiny palette. So I wanted to give this one a shot too. I love these purples. I had been going through a very hardcore pink and purple phase lately. I don't know why. So this has been fun, especially as an accent to a lot of these palettes in this pile. I'm loving that. Oh, and then this little guy all the way back in this corner. I almost forgot a thing. This is not new at all. And this isn't even new to me. This is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter that kind of looks like a vagina. I'm not gonna lie. If you can see that. It fully looks like a vagina to me. This is the shade Golden Lights. I actually had this and then broke the lid for it. Like, I had this like a year, like, oh, well over, like maybe 2 years ago, and I broke the lid for it, and then I guess I just kind of like got rid of it after a while because I figured I had other gold highlighters, which is very true. But then I always kind of missed it once I got rid of it because it is just such a beautiful, I love a pretty, like, super yellowy gold highlighter, and this to me has always been stunning. And I've always had gold highlighters like this, but nothing that quite felt the same. So last time I was in Ulta, I finally bought it again. It only took like 2 years of missing it and regretting decluttering it for me to get it back. Okay, this is going to be harder to show off because, well, actually, I act like I can't move my camera. Pause. Okay, so plot twist, it's actually a totally different day because as I was editing back the footage of me going through the second and third shelf, I realized that the angle was absolutely fucking horrific. So if you notice I have different sleeves on or anything, that's why. So, when you get to my second shelf on my cart, the first thing you might notice is this beautiful, I need to get my camera angle straightened out, this beautiful Fenty Beauty highlighter palette. I had wanted this since it came out originally for the holidays. There we go. This is awkward. Okay. But I did not agree with the original price. I believe it's originally like an over $50 palette, and that wasn't going to work for me. So when this baby went on sale, you best believe that I was on that. And I even lucked out because the first day that this was on sale at Sephora was the last day that Sephora was offering like an additional 20% off of sale items. And I'm so happy that I got it because I ended up getting the whole thing for like 30 bucks or less or something like that. Super good deal. This is fucking beautiful. Some of these shades are super metallic. And to wear them on the eyes, because obviously only like these 3 shades will actually work for my skin tone. To wear these on your eyes as eyeshadows is so stunning. And when I've done it, I've had a lot of people stop me and compliment my eye looks. So that's a huge bonus for me. Plus, I'm really appreciating my weird colored highlighters lately. I have a whole collection of like odd colored highlighters, but this is the first time that I'm really like embracing it, learning to like layer them with normal color highlighters in a way that's like flattering enough that I can get away wearing them to work. So this was just encouraging my whole weird highlighter thing. But isn't it so beautiful? Like, look. Okay, these angles, they're not helping anybody. There's lots of different finishes in this palette too. Like, as you can see, there's a super metallic shade and there's like this kind of glittery top coat finish. Super pretty. I just realized what this like shadow was. It's the camera lens. The things that we do for YouTube. So these are actually new. Well, they're not new. They're new to the second shelf since actually filming the first part of this video. I've recently put the Juvia's Place Magic and Masquerade palettes into my cart because I just miss using them. I miss using like old favorites. I think I'm someone obviously who buys a lot of eyeshadow. That's not a secret. I love reviewing eyeshadow palettes for you guys. I love indie makeup. I love trying new indie makeup, comparing brands, all that jazz. But your old collection gets neglected when you do that. And I just like need to like move this for a second. This is a classic. Like, this is, first of all, this angle is horrific. This is an absolute classic. This is the palette that made me fall in love with Juvia's Place. And then the Magic palette, equally stunning. Love this yellow so much. Then underneath those are some more gigantic palettes. I have the brand new Zodiac Love Signs from BH Cosmetics, and of course I'm pairing that with the original Zodiac palette. The original looks something like this. It's stunning. I really actually love, get it, love? I actually really love Love Signs way more than I thought I would. This palette is fucking stunning. I love how warm this palette is. This highlighter shade in the middle for my skin tone is fire. It is so beautiful and so metallic because it is a baked formula. There's definitely glitter in it, and the glitter, if you use this middle shade, will sometimes get into the matte shades. That sucks. But these baked shadows around the perimeter, I love the BH baked formula so much. I think the matte tones were picked beautifully, especially these blues and this like emerald green matched with these mustards. I think this was a really well executed palette. I know that might be a controversial opinion. A lot of people were very angry when they saw this palette, but I've been liking it very much. Also for eyeshadow down here, I have the Candylicious palette by Bombshell. See, this is the confusion. I think they're Bombshell Cosmetica now, but they might have originally been Bombshell Lashes. Or they're still Bombshell. I don't know. I have the Candylicious palette from Bombshell because I'm kind of comparing this original eyeshadow formula with the newer palettes from Bombshell because supposedly it is a different formula, and I actually would definitely agree with that. This is also a really fun palette. These two colors specifically, Beautiful. This peach actually is a transition shade, not to be very typical beauty guru. Beautiful. Plus, I feel like it's very easy to dupe the Anastasia Sultry palette within this palette, because you get that pink, you get a gray, you get like a cool tone brown, you get some lighter browns. Like, for me, I don't know, I saw the dupe in this. Do you guys see it? I don't know. Not eyeshadow. I have a bag that says Pisces. This is from Wet n Wild, and inside, wouldn't you know, are all the Wet n Wild Zodiac lip glosses. I bought all 12 of these because I think this is a crazy, ridiculously good formula. As you can see, online these all look very similar, or some of them I should say, some shades look very similar to others. In real life, these are all very distinctively different. Like, not to encourage anybody to buy 12 lip glosses. Obviously, you should just get the ones that you're excited about. But I liked this formula so much, and I liked that some were super metallic and glitter. Some were like, not a matte gloss, but just like a solid color with no glitter in it. Some are more transformative, some are more sheer, some are more opaque. Like, I really think they hit it out of the park with these glosses, and we lost one. And I think they're permanent, which is very cool as well. But I keep them all in my Zodiac bag because I need to learn to use them more. These are actually, I shouldn't say I want to use them more. They're actually on my shelf because I use them a lot. These are like my go-to. I'm running out the door and I need to grab a lip product very fast product. So I take that back. Well, other things on this cart might be because I need to use them more. These are on the cart because I use them a shit ton. Back here, more lip products. First, in the way back, I have 3 matte lipsticks from Beauty Bakery. I don't know how I feel about these. I have only worn this one so far. This is the shade Salted Caramel Mocha. I also have Sangria Splash and Ginger Snap. They're the lip whips. They're the matte lip whips, I should say. I got these from Ulta the second they were available. I found Salted Caramel Mocha to be very, very drying, and I'm a bitch who loves liquid matte lipsticks. But even for me, it was too much. And I think because of the tone, because this is a very, very, very pale nude, it gave me massive butthole lip. So I wasn't a fan, and I remember it was very hard to get off. I haven't tried these 2 colors yet, which I should, because Ginger Snap especially is gorgeous. I don't know. I love a lot of products from Beauty Bakery, but these were kind of misses for me. Back here are just some beauty sponges that have recently been washed, so that's not very exciting. Though I will say, so I have my typical, I was going to say that's not very exciting, but I have my typical Real Technique sponges. I also have this e.l.f. sponge, which is like porous and interesting. This for baking is fucking amazing. Speaking of Beauty Bakery, this baking with their flour setting powder is, I don't know, something about the porousness of the sponge picks up the powder very nicely. Gives for a good bake, you know? Get some more lip products out of the way. Some Too Faced Melted Matte Lipsticks. This is like one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. I have the 2 Clover shades that I bought because when I first got hired at my job, I was like, I can't wear dark lips. I need some more nude colors. So I bought these, and then I come to realize I can wear dark colors. I'm still iffy about wearing weird colors. Like, I don't think it would go over well if I wore like a green lipstick to work. But I don't know, they're still nice. It's still nice to have them in case I have to go to something else that's like not weird person friendly. I don't know. And then of course I have their holiday gingerbread girl lipstick. This is an amazing shade. If you can still find this, I'm gonna swatch this and then immediately regret it because it's hard to wipe off liquid lipstick swatches. This is like a beautiful brick color. Very flattering. If you don't like reds but you want something kind of red, this would be a shade I could recommend to you. I also really love the gingerbread shade from last year. The gingerbread man shade, I should say. Gingerbread man. And then we have gingerbread girl. She's not even a gingerbread woman. She's a gingerbread girl. Speaking of Too Faced though, if underneath this pile, I also have their mini holiday melted matte lipsticks. I have these still in the packaging. I've used the crap out of these and I love these. I kept them in the packaging though because I was originally going to do like a seasonal favorites in December. And I was going to put these in the video because they're fucking amazing. These are such gorgeous colors. But you can't find them anymore. They like sold out well before Christmas and was never brought back, which is a shame. Because this little kit is so good. It's such a good price. The size of the lipsticks are great and the colors are really beautiful and just a little bit grungy, a little bit cool tone. There's another really beautiful red in this, and they do perfectly smell like the scents that they're described to smell like. That's kind of crazy. Hot Buttered Rum is such a good scent. I wish they had more lipsticks smelled like that, were scented like that. But yeah, that's why this is still in the box, because I was originally going to show it off in the video, but it never really happened. More Too Faced. I didn't even realize I had so much fucking Too Faced in this cart. Oh, which is weird because I'm kind of mad at the owner right now. Got the third. I have all of the diamond highlighters now. I was going to say the third one. I got the pink one. I now have all of them. I have the original, the more like sparkly gold one, and now I have this one. This is the color Fancy Pink Diamond. I'm a big fan of the box. I think the packaging is on point. When I move, I hope to have a beauty space that will allow me to display like my nicer pieces of makeup so that like I can appreciate packaging more. This would be something I displayed. Anyway, I bought this, one, not only to complete the set, but two, because when I was swatching this in Sephora, this seemed like such a blinding highlight. And then in person, oh, that actually swatched okay. I don't know, in person, it's very dim once you apply it, but now that I'm swatching it again, doesn't that look more metallic? Maybe you do just have to get through the top layer. One of you guys suggested to just work through the top layer and it gets better. I might have just proven that to be true. We shall see. And then more lip products. I bet you didn't know I liked lip products this month. This much. I got some of them. There's like nothing on this box. I got some of the holiday exclusive Fenty Beauty matchstick lipsticks. Is that what they're called? Are they called matchsticks? Did I make that up? Is that what they're called? I don't know. They only sold their holiday lipsticks in sets of 3 for some reason. So I bought the set that included this gorgeous purple, which is called Fog Snog. And I'm going to try my best to swatch it. I wanted this just for this purple. I think this is such a cool metallic grayish tone purple. It is so stunning. And then, of course, it came with 2 other shades, which I'm not mad about because the 2 other shades are equally as beautiful. The blue one is called No Chill, and I will swatch that for you. That's No Chill, and you know how I feel about blue lips, so obviously not bad to have a blue lip. And then the third one, which is like a copper, is called Frost Sauce. These names are kind of... I don't know. This one feels drier and more glittery than the This one feels drier and containing more glitter than the other 2. I don't know if that translates to camera or not, but really excited to have all 3 of those. More things that I kept in a box because I was hoping to shoot a favorites video and that never happened. This was the holiday set from Anastasia Beverly Hills, their metallic liquid lipsticks. I have gone through a serious glitter / metallic / glossy lip phase lately. I have given up on matte lips this season. I think it's mostly because going to work, it's so much easier for me to wear a gloss than a lipstick. I don't know if I might have mentioned that in the first half of this video, but these were really beautiful. This was supposed to go in my favorites too. Didn't end up happening. And then in this little corner, finally, are the Rainbow Indie palettes that I had been promising a bunched up review on. So this is the Block Party palette from Suva Beauty. I fucking love this palette so much to the point where I have to actively stop myself from reaching for this because I can get such an effortless, colorful smoky eye with this palette and it always looks amazing. Love this palette so much. So much I'm hitting the cart. Then I have the Colored Rain pressed pigments. This is when you could still get them as singles. Now they're sold as a palette, which I think personally is a shame because it made more sense to keep it in this format because then the people who only wanted a couple could get a couple and the people who still wanted all of them could get them all. But whatever, I don't work for Colored Rain. But this is super nice too. I really have a lot of thoughts about this. These shades have been my favorite, like this quad over here. I don't know why this peachy shade is so good. This red is so good. I've had a lot of people tell me that these were like troubling for them to work with. I didn't find that to personally be the case, but I would love to talk about that more in a dedicated video once I get my life together. And then down here I have the Slush palette from September Rose. This is a beautiful palette. This is so stunning. Everything's a little bit neon-y, Like, it's not a true rainbow. It's very, very bright. This palette actually now reminds me of Nisa a whole lot because I know that she's obsessed with this banana shade. Super gorgeous. I'm so happy that I have this. Specifically, before I put it away, these greens are fucking bomb. But anyway, I, like I've been promising, have to do an indie rainbow colorful palette review. I actually was originally going to include the Laura Lee Los Angeles. I don't even remember what it was called. The rainbow palette, the little rainbow palette that she came out with that ended up being a BoxyCharm. And then I ended up donating the Laura Lee palettes. So that's that. But now I have another palette in the mail that I might wait to get before I do this group review. Probably. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait because I don't know why 3 palettes doesn't seem like enough for a group review. 4 does. I don't know. That could just be a weird hang up of mine, but I have another colorful palette on its way and I would like to include that in this regardless. Okay, so now we have reached the bottom tier of the shelf. And then right away, I feel I need to address what could arguably be considered the elephant in the room. This is the Berries and Cream palette from Dominique Cosmetics. And this might be shocking for some of you guys to see because I had anti-hauled this palette. And it actually was probably the most controversial thing that I anti-hauled because basically my reasoning was it looked beautiful in pictures, but then once the palette was swatched, it looked, I think I called it bubblegum nasty. And I still agree with that. It still does not swatch nearly as beautiful as it is. And then so many of you guys commented how beautiful this palette was and that I shouldn't be judging it so harshly, that it was a great formula, blah, blah, blah. And then Hannah, aka Smoky Glow, who can convince me to buy anything because we love a lot of the same things, she told me personally how much she loved this palette. So I asked my boyfriend if he would get it for me for Christmas. So that's what happened, and I'm being upfront because sometimes opinions change, and sometimes you get reviews, and sometimes people tell you to try something, and that's okay. And this is a really beautiful palette. I actually originally thought that this would be too much like the Naked Cherry, and I actually find this to be a lot better than the Naked Cherry in my opinion because it goes a lot richer and a lot deeper, and you have a lot more contrasting tones, whereas in basically all Naked palettes, everything is one-dimensional, and all your looks tend to come out the same. I tend to get a good variety of looks using this palette, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So thank you guys for telling me to shut up and not judge this palette so much, because I really love it. Let's see. If my voice sounds louder, it's because I'm a lot closer to the camera, and I'm new at filming like this, so bear with me. The next thing I want to grab for is the Royal Affair palette by BH Cosmetics. I bought this the second it was available on Ulta because it was only like 10 bucks or something ridiculous. And I had told you guys that I'm very into ugly colors lately, and I love this palette for that reason. I actually was going to include this in my seasonal favorites as well when I was going to do that video, because I just find this to be so beautiful. It's a great formula. It's exactly the same as the Festival palette, so all the mattes blend very easily. The shimmers are very metallic, very foiled. This shade over here is actually a beautiful duochrome. Like, again, another kind of ABH sultry dupe if you're looking for those kind of vibes, because you get the pink, you get the cool tones, you get enough greens and enough, like, baby... I now know, you guys corrected me, I called it baby puke colors. Apparently, no, the correct term is baby poop colors. So you get those kind of poopy browns. Like, it's just stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love this palette. It was $10 fucking for amazing quality. And then I might as well grab these because they're in the way. I have my Storybook Cosmetics palettes down here because eventually, now that these are at Ulta, I am going to do a video reviewing all of these Storybook Cosmetic palettes. I first have, of course, the Burn Book, which is the Mean Girls palette. It is fucking beautiful. The quality of Storybook does not get talked about enough. I'm going to be real honest. And then after that, I have the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory palette, which I'm kind of sad that this isn't sold in Ulta stores. It's sold on Ulta.com, but it's not sold in stores. And it's such a cool palette because when you open it, you get a golden ticket. Like, how freaking cool is that? You get a golden ticket. And then this one is also a really great color story. Very beautiful. These colors specifically, I don't know. This is my personal favorite Storybook palette. I love the colors of this one so much. They need to put this in stores. And then the one that started it all, the Wizardry and Witchcraft. The Wizardry, it's getting late. The Wizardry, that's a harder word to say than you think. The Wizardry and Witchcraft palette, which if you're into cool tones, if you're into dark tones, if you're a goth ass bitch, this is going to be the palette for you. It is so sultry. Every look you do comes out so smoky and so sexy. Very, very beautiful. So that's reserved for a future video, like basically everything in this cart. Let's move a little, actually let's not move a little closer, that's a terrible angle. Down here you have some Lorac palettes. First, both of these came out for the holidays, I should say. First, we have the Lorac Color Source and Light Source, so you get both Color Source and Light Source cheek palette. This is a blush and highlighter palette. I am a sucker for Lorac cheek products. They are so good. The texture of these blushes, the texture of any Lorac blush is out of this world beautiful. These tones are so like nude and natural, and they complement so many eye looks. I've been loving this palette. This was also going to go in my favorites. And then you get 2 light source highlighters on the end. They're very nice, very soft, not the most metallic, but very, very pretty. Very happy to have this little palette. I actually bought this the second it was available because I love Lorac cheek palettes that much. And then the Lorac Holiday Eyeshadow Palette. This is the Shine Bright Pro Eyeshadow Palette. I love the Lorac Pro formula. This is a gorgeous palette as well. This was another one though that I was not about to buy full price because it was super expensive, and then it went on sale for literally half the cost, and I just agree with that price so much more. But these are such pretty colors, and the Lorac formula is one that you either love or hate because it's super soft. You get a lot of pigment very easily. I think that's why the pans are so small, because you need so little product. It's one of those formulas that blows out very easily, that you can lose control of very easily. And therefore, I think you either love it or hate it. But I really like it. I think this is a beautiful palette altogether. These metallic shades are really, really pretty. Happy to have that. It also kind of reminds me of like the old Urban Decay Vice palettes. So I think that's a huge reason why I wanted it. It's like a more concise Vice palette. And then the Fall Fusion palette back here, which with the common theme of this tier is that this was also going to go on my favorites, but I just didn't think it was fair because this palette's not available anymore, which is a shame. I get it. I do hope that Blush Try brings it back next fall because it's so beautiful. This is the Fall Fusion palette. Like I said, it was limited edition to the fall season. And this palette's really cool because there's a shade called Paulina, which was named after Paulina Beauty, of course. And then up here you have, there we go. Up here you have Angelica, which was named for Angelica Nyquist. So that's, I don't know, beautiful. I've had so much fun with this palette. Every look I do with this palette, I should say, comes out amazing. The purples blend way nicer than what I would expect a purple to blend like. I've been loving these warmer tones. This metallic purple lily shade specifically is such a gorgeous color because it's like a nice cranberry shade. Do you see that? That's fucking amazing. I just really love this palette so much. This is my personal favorite Blush Try palette that I've ever tried. I hate that you can't get it anymore, but 2 of the shades in this palette are also in Paulina's palette. So if that interests you in any way, you can still get some of them that way. The big guns back here, I have my Natasha Denona palettes. First up, I have my Natasha Denona Gold palette, which was also a Christmas gift from Matt, but it was like a super early Christmas gift because he got it in November when it was 20% off. I fucking love this palette. This was also going to go in my favorites video because when I first saw the pictures of this, I hated it. I thought it was awful and boring, and why would I spend so much money on it? And then I started seeing swatches of it. I started seeing looks that were being done with it, and I fell head over heels in love with it because everything is so mustardy and so green, and I don't even think the green is picking up that well on camera. Because from the angle I'm sitting, this shade up here looks absolutely insane because it has such a great green reflect. I find this palette to be so beautiful. The metallics are out of this world, ridiculously sparkly, beautiful, amazing, shiny, any adjective you want to use. Spectacular, stunning. Oh my gosh. The mattes blend seamlessly. This is a great fucking palette. I don't want to encourage any of you guys if you're trying not to spend this much on a palette because it is a luxury. This is straight up a bougie ass palette. Like, you can definitely achieve looks like this with cheaper alternative products. But as a nice treat yourself product, it's great. However, do you fucking see this? The nail keeps getting caught in the magnet and getting ripped out. And then I have this fucking hole. So you know what? For $120 fucking dollars, I'm a little pissed that it does that because I have to like manually put it back every time, and now I'm probably just gonna have to glue it because the next time I close it, it's just gonna do it again. So fuck that. But you know, the rest of it's nice. And actually, maybe I shouldn't be mad because it holds the stupid plastic thing up. Maybe it's a defect in the most beautiful way. I don't know. And then my other two Natasha Denona palettes, I have the Lila palette, which is the purpley beautiful one, and then I have the Sunset palette, which is the warm-toned, there's no L in toned, the warm-toned gold beautiful one. Similar golds to the gold palette itself, but it also has like beautiful reds and cranberries. I have all of these palettes together because I'm also hoping to one day do a palette on whether or not I think these are worth the money and breaking down the quality and comparing the quality to other things in my collection. One of the million ideas I have to do on my channel. Next up, we have some Urban Decay palettes. Got both of these this year, got both of these with Ulta points, which is very cool. First up, we have the Elements palette, which was their holiday palette this year. Originally I was going to, hit my camera. Originally I was going to review this just to let you guys know not to buy it because the quality of the packaging itself is shit and this is not worth $50. I know it is now very discounted, so if you see it at a price you agree with, knock yourself out. But I feel like if you have any holiday Urban Decay palette, you have these colors, you're good. But it is pretty nonetheless. And then last year's holiday palette, I think it's the full spectrum. I don't even know. Hey, look, you can see yourself. Hey, what's up? That's annoying. This palette was their holiday palette last year. I'll show you one side at a time so you don't blind yourself. It's an all metallic palette. And it's super pretty, but for some reason Ulta like brought it back randomly a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago, on like a super discounted price, and I wasn't able to get it last year, so I kind of was like, what the hell, and I used points to get it. You don't need both of these palettes, just as a heads up, you do not. And even I have like the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, or the Spectrum, I think just the Spectrum palette, not the rainbow one, but the other all metallic palette. If you have all three of those, like, you're good. You have every metallic shade that Urban Decay could ever offer. Whoop! You're good. You don't need them. And then lastly, my makeup erasers down here. This is also going to go in my favorites video. Actually, this is probably going to go in my skincare video. For those of you who don't know, Makeup Eraser makes these microfiber cloths that remove your makeup with just water. And it's like witchcraft. I believe in this product so much. If Makeup Eraser wants to sponsor me, I would gladly fucking take that sponsorship. But I'm just to say I'm not sponsored now. But this product is ridiculous. I got the free sample that they're offering. It does take a while to get your free sample because they have such an influx of orders. But then once I used it, it took off my full face with just water. And it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Like the full face of makeup that you guys normally see me wear. So I had to buy them. Black Friday, they were having great sales on them. So I got two of these guys. Love those. And then, besides the little tools that put together my cart, at the very end of this tour, the James Charles palette. I keep this in the cart because I just want to give it more of a shot. I don't know. I stand by my review of this palette. I really do. Move the cart now so you can see the full thing. I stand by my review of this palette. I really do. But a lot of you guys were saying that you found it easier to use these shades when you were using them with other shadows and with other palettes. So that's why I keep it out, because I've been using them with the Bombshell Cosmetica palettes, the candy ones that just came out, because I'm not a fan of the mattes in those little palettes. So I've been pairing them with the more colorful shades in this palette. I don't know, my feelings are genuinely the same. The pigment is nice, but the usability, But I don't know. It's down here because I'm trying. I'm trying to not hate makeup that I've spent money on. And with that is the end of my cart tour. I think I might have said this in the intro, but I don't remember. I've been using this cart the same way that a lot of people use like beauty baskets, like ways to force yourself to use certain makeup over the rest of your collection. It's been very successful for me. I also like that this has mobility, because I can just pull it from this room to my filming room when I need to. I don't know, it's been working out for me. It's very visually pleasing. The way that I've organized it makes me really want to reach for these products, whereas when they were just piled on my dresser before, There were definitely things that I was ignoring. And it's so nice and neat and not overwhelming. And I'm just so happy that I decided to go this method. I hope that for those of you who scream for a makeup collection video, that this will hold you over for the time being. I will do another one of these videos the next time I radically overhaul this cart and have new makeup to talk about. But for the time being, I'm like good on makeup for a fucking while. Oh my god. Let me know your thoughts about these products down below. Let me know your thoughts about any upcoming video ideas that I've teased out, what you want to see from me, what is the priority for you for me to review first. If you like this video, if you like makeup collections, if you like me, you should like and subscribe. And you should also follow me on my Instagram, which is also Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, because I always show what new makeup I am buying on my Instagram. And also, for those who have pledged to my Patreon, I swear I will be releasing a video soon. I just really had to mentally get my shit together. And that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys!